Are you done with whenever you're done with it, yes.
All rise. This term of Oneida County Court is now in session with the Honorable Robert L. Bauer presiding. Please be seated.
I'll see all level. Council.
Yeah, but effectively it's the logistics on yes, that's why I appreciate it. Well, that's part of it. I should remove myself the other bit.
Nicholas Kefir.
Morning, Your Honor.
This is the matter of people against Nicholas Kefir, indictment 25035. We adjourn this one today's date for a report on the people's pretrial offer. Where do we stand?
Your Honor, yeah, we do have the pretrial offer that was extended by the people. Unfortunately, at this point, Judge, we're not in a position to accept and or reject it. We're still running through some difficulties with the electronic discovery. Predominantly, there's a number of interrogations and interviews that were audio and video recorded of some of the people involved. I'm unable to open those. I was able to open some, but with only audio, no video whatsoever. Some I cannot get to open and play. I have discussed that with Mr. Hudson and Mr. Woodford 3-4 weeks ago, as well as again yesterday. I understand they're going to try to work with me to get some type of thumb drive or some other type of electronic transmission so I can listen to those. So unfortunately, Judge, they were unable to. We would like to have a motion date if that's okay with Your Honor. And we also have overhanging everything is obviously no commitment by the feds, and I understand that's not the court's concern, but obviously as the court's well aware, it is a concern for the defense.
Would counsel approach for a moment?
Sure. I think Jed had sent some stuff now, maybe yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. We just Absolutely. I'll get you. It's the same description. Look, I don't think you do.
I don't remember the things, national iron drums.
So after taking a moment to confer with the attorneys here at the bench, it's my understanding that both sides are going to work diligently to resolve any ongoing discovery issues with respect to apparently a technical problem getting some of the audio or video recorded evidence to play. But with that understanding in mind, the prosecution is willing to keep the proposed disposition open through the defense motion filing date. So what I'm going to do is adjourn the matter to May 13th at 9:30 a.m. for a combined report date. If the matter is not resolved that day, then motions are due to be filed by the end of business on May 13th. If need be, then the prosecution response will be due to be filed by May 27th, and the parties would then return June 3rd for argument and decision with respect to those motions. So Mr. Kefir, that's when I next need you back here in court. It'll now be May 13th at 9:30 a.m. to report.
Judge, for the record, we have additional discovery that we are providing them, and the people will be filing a supplemental COCs per our obligation.
Acknowledge receipt of those materials, Mr. Longretta.
Acknowledge receipt of an envelope that does appear to have come directly from the judge, yes.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Kefir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nicholas Gentile.
Judge, may we approach?
Yes. The matter of the people against Nicholas Gentile, indictment 25035. We've adjourned this matter to today's date for a report on the people's pretrial offer. Where do we stand with respect to that offer, counsel?
Your Honor, we're looking for a motion date.
So your client does not wish to accept that proposal today, is that right?
Correct, and I understand from the people that's gonna be left open.
I'm sorry?
I understand from the people that the offer's gonna be left open for motions.
So we're clear. How long are the people keeping that proposed disposition available?
Judge, we'll leave that open for the motion schedule.
To ensure we're very clear, you mean through the filing of defense motions, your response, or the argument decision date?
Filing of defense motions, Judge, I apologize.
Did you want to return to court and report on your motion filing date? Or do you intend to reject today and go ahead and file?
Your Honor, if we can schedule an appearance and we can let the court know if something changes.
All right, I'll do that.
Thank you.
All right, so what I'm going to do then is adjourn the matter for a report May 13th, counsel.
Yes.
May 13th, the report. If the matter is not going to be resolved on May 13th, then defense motions should be filed by the end of business that day. The prosecution response would then be due May 27th, and the parties will return June 3rd at 9:30 a.m. for argument and decision. Mr. Gentile, that's when I next need you back in court now. It's going to be May 13th at 9:30 a.m. Anything further from either side?
Your Honor, we're providing additional discovery and we'll be providing a supplemental COC as well.
I acknowledge receipt of what appears to be a thumb drive, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Fina.
This is the matter of the people against Anthony Fina, indictment 25035. We adjourn this matter to today's date for a report on the people's pretrial offer. Where do we stand today, counsel?
Your Honor, I can't take a position at this point. We have an opportunity to review the discovery. It's pretty voluminous. So at this point, I just ask the court to, or the people to leave the offer open as for the previous two defendants.
It was done with the previous two defendants for very specific reasons relative to an inability to review certain discovery materials. In this case, I believe you've had the bulk of the discovery since the indictment was filed a couple of months ago now, counsel. Do you have some other compelling reason that you're not in a position to report today?
Well, as was previously indicated, there are videos that we haven't been able to access. There are some materials that we open up and the pages are blank. I don't know if that's intentional or not intentional, I'm not sure. I was compiling a list of all the discovery issues that we are having. I wasn't prepared to kind of go through every single one of them. I can say that there's a PDF in discovery 211, 2444 that we can't open. I know that some of the, again, like some of the videos won't play, so I'm not really positioned to, I guess, comment on all of discovery, but certainly discovery we can't access.
Have you conferred with the prosecution regarding these issues?
No, I have not.
Okay. So the CPL does contemplate that that's exactly your obligation, that if you encounter some difficulty in obtaining or reviewing discovery, your first step should be to reach out to the prosecution and not allow some 2 months to elapse and appear here in court in what is working out to be a rather wasteful manner. What I'm going to do is adjourn the case for 2 weeks to your motion filing date. I expect between then and the next appearance, you will confer with the prosecution. You will iron out any differences that you have with respect to discovery, ensure that you're able to review all of those materials, have a meaningful conversation with your client so he's in a position to accept or reject the proposed disposition on the next date. If you encounter further difficulties or for some reason the prosecution is not compliant with your requests, then you may involve the court and I will get involved and ensure that these issues are ironed out. Okay, the matter is now adjourned to May 13th at 9:30 a.m. to report on the offer. If the matter is not resolved on the 13th, motions are to be filed by the end of business that day. The people's response is then due to be filed May 27th. The case would then be adjourned to June 3rd at 9:30 a.m. for any argument the parties wish to have and the court's decision. Now, I do also have the separate pending motion brought by defense counsel seeking for this court to vacate or modify the protective order that was issued on March 31st of this year. I did receive your writing to that effect, Mr. Rialto. Is there anything further you wanted to say in support of your motion?
Right, that was a joint defense motion, but no, I think we clearly lay out the reasons why, and also the understanding in our last appearance of the transcripts with the special prosecutor stating that should have been limited only to cooperating witnesses. That's overly broad at this point.
Mr. Woodfork?
Judge, at this point, the people take no position to stand by our request as it was previously stated.
Okay. As do I. I think the issue may be some confusion with respect to the term cooperating witnesses. From the court's perspective, virtually anyone and everyone who participated and gave testimony on behalf of the prosecution is to some degree a cooperating witness. And I do believe that, as before, the people have shown good cause for the issuance of the protective order in the manner that it was issued previously. While on the one hand, I understand and appreciate the defense concerns about the prosecution making extrajudicial statements that could prejudice a jury pool. That issue was dealt with on a prior motion brought by Attorney Passalacqua. And I believe that following the court's direction, the prosecution has refrained from any such statements going forward. I see no need nor useful purpose in modifying the court's protective order that would then permit the defense to disclose identifying information about civilian witnesses publicly. That is in no one's best interest. So the motion is denied, the protective order remains. Did you have anything further, Mr. Woodfork?
Yes, Your Honor, this is our first appearance following our COC as well as additional discovery. We had digitally filed that with the court and the defense. We're providing the defense with a hard copy of that and are reaffirming that readiness for trial.
Mr. Rialto, do you acknowledge receipt of the COC and your discovery materials?
I do, Your Honor.
Anything further then from either side?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, first, an objection to the court's ruling. Secondly, I'd ask the court to do an inquiry as to the people's certificate of compliance as making reasonable inquiries and due diligence to provide all discovery at this point.
Mr. Woodfork, are you in fact ready for trial and have you made reasonable inquiries and due diligence to obtain all necessary discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
Those things have all been turned over to the defense now.
Correct.
Anything else?
Nothing further.
May 13th.
Gallagher.
The matter of the people against Matthew Gallagher, indictment 25035. We adjourn this matter to today's date for a report on the people's pretrial offer. Where do you stand today, counsel?
Good morning, Your Honor. We were prepared to accept or reject it this morning, but I'm not prepared to do so unless I know what's in the discovery envelope that's being handed over to the parties today. That could influence our decision, and it's not fair for us to make a decision without knowing what's in that envelope.
That's a fair point. Mr. Woodfork, I trust, as with the others, you have some additional discovery you're now sharing?
Yes, Your Honor. We are providing additional discovery. These are additional extractions from some of the body-worn cameras that were sent to an outside agency to make some of those extractions. So that's what's on the thumb drive.
Okay. Have you turned that material over?
We're providing that right now, Judge.
Go ahead, make a record of it.
And Judge, yes, we are providing the defense with a COC, that discovery material, the additional discovery material. That was provided to the defense digitally, and people are reaffirming their readiness for trial.
All right, you people are in fact ready for trial, is that right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and with what you've handed over today, you've exercised due diligence and applied all discovery material known to you.
We have, Your Honor.
Do you acknowledge receipt of the COC and those discovered materials, Mr. Lubert?
Yes, Your Honor.
Based on your having just received some additional materials here this morning, as with the other cases, I can adjourn you for a couple of additional weeks. May 13th at 9:30 a.m. to report. If the matter is not going to be resolved on the 13th, however, motions should be filed by the end of business that day. The prosecution response will be due to be filed by May 27th, and the parties will return as was previously scheduled for June 3rd at 9:30 a.m. for argument and decision.
Your Honor, if I may indulge you, Your Honor, I start a criminal trial on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. Those 3 days is dedicated to that trial. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
How's the 19th?
I'll make that work, sir.
I'll get you in on May 19th, then to record and/or file defense motions. The remainder of the motion schedule will remain May 27th and June 3rd. Anything further then from either side?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor, thank you.
We'll see all that then.
David Kingsley.
This is the matter of the people against David Kingsley, indictment 25035. This case was adjourned to today's date for report on the people's pretrial offer. Where do we stand today, Mr. Newbush?
Your Honor, as the previous attorney stated, Mr. Gallagher, there is a discovery packet that's being furnished today that we have not reviewed. There's also another issue. At a previous court date, the district attorney indicated that they retained the services of a Dr. Bodden, a world-renowned pathologist down in New York City. We have yet to receive any documents, notes, reports from that doctor. I'd like to have an opportunity to review those as well before we get reported on the offer.
And Judge, that is correct. We do not have a report at this time. Once that is received by our office, that will be immediately turned over to the defense, and supplemental COCs will be filed accordingly.
Okay. That's not altogether uncommon. Do you also have additional discovery you're sharing today?
Yes, Your Honor. Again, this is our first appearance since filing our digital copy of the COC, so we're providing a formal copy here with additional discovery and reaffirming our readiness for trial.
Ready for trial?
Yes, Your Honor.
Acknowledge receipt of those documents.
All right, that being the case, I'll adjourn the matter as I did with those that came before you. May 13th, 9:30 a.m. to report on the offer. If the matter is not resolved on the 13th, motions should be filed by the end of business that day. The prosecution response will then be due May 27th, and the parties return on June 3rd, 9:30 a.m. for argument and decision of the court. Is there anything further from either side? Prosecution?
No, Your Honor.
Defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Kingsley, you're due back here May 13th.
Thank you.